Boosie just dropped a bomb on the rap world, and it's leaving fans and rappers shook. He's calling out artists tied to the F the Streets movement, and the message is straight fire. Some say it's controversial, some say it's overdue. But one thing's for sure, this isn't just another rap feud. Stay tuned, because what Boosie revealed could change the game for a lot of rappers, and we're breaking down every shocking detail. The rap world has always been full of drama, but Boosie's latest message is taking things to a whole new level. In this video, we're diving deep into what he said, who he's calling out, and why it's causing such a stir. From the rise of the F the Streets movement to Boosie's blunt advice to his peers, we're unpacking every angle. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this message has fans talking, how it could impact the careers of some of today's biggest rappers, and the hidden context that most people are missing. Stick around, because we're revealing details that no other channel is covering. And trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next. Boosie Badazz isn't one to hold back, and his recent message has sent ripples across the hip-hop community. For those unfamiliar, the F the Streets movement has been gaining traction online, with a growing number of rappers openly embracing it as a lifestyle statement. Essentially, it's a movement that promotes leaving the streets behind, avoiding criminal behavior, and focusing on financial success. On the surface, it sounds positive, but Boosie's take has added a layer of controversy. During a recent interview and social media posts, Boosie called out artists who he feels are using the movement as a shield while still engaging in questionable behavior. He emphasized that the streets aren't something you just leave behind with a slogan or a catchy hashtag. You have to prove it in your actions. Some of the rappers he hinted at have large fan bases, making his comments even more attention-grabbing. Fans immediately took to Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, debating whether Boosie was speaking the truth or stirring unnecessary drama. The tension escalated when snippets of his statement went viral, with many claiming he was exposing hypocrisy among rappers who preach one thing but do another. And here's where things get even more intense. Insiders say Boosie didn't just stop at calling out the movement. There are rumors that he named names privately, and some rappers are allegedly reconsidering their affiliations with the movement. Could this shake up the very foundation of F the Streets? Stick around, because in the next section, we're diving into exactly who might be feeling the heat. And you won't believe some of the names that are coming up. Boosie's comments didn't just spark chatter, they ignited a full-blown debate across the rap community. While he didn't publicly name every artist, insiders and fans have been speculating about who exactly is feeling the heat. Social media detectives immediately started piecing together clues, analyzing interviews, posts, and subtle hints from Boosie himself. Some names have been thrown into the mix multiple times, while others are less obvious but still under suspicion. What makes this even more explosive is that many of these rappers have built their brand around authenticity. They've positioned themselves as survivors of the streets who've made it out and now inspire younger fans to follow a safer path. Boosie's critique challenges that narrative, implying that some are still tied to street culture in ways that contradict their public image. That's a bold statement coming from someone with Boosie's credibility, as he's never been shy about his own experiences growing up in Baton Rouge. The reactions have been mixed. On one hand, fans applauded Boosie for calling out what they see as hypocrisy. Comments flooded Twitter like, "Finally someone speaking the truth," and "Boosie keeps it real as always." On the other hand, some followers and artists accused him of stirring unnecessary drama, suggesting that publicly questioning others' credibility could backfire. Even major hip-hop blogs picked up the story, highlighting the tension and speculating about potential diss tracks or social media feuds. Here's where it gets really interesting. Some sources hint that a few of the rappers under scrutiny have already started distancing themselves from the movement quietly. There are even whispers of private messages being sent between artists, trying to figure out if they need to respond publicly or risk being seen as hypocritical. This behind-the-scenes drama could potentially reshape alliances, collaborations, and even the way the movement is perceived by fans. In the next section, we'll explore Boosie's personal history with the streets and why his opinion carries so much weight. Understanding his past gives this whole situation a new layer of meaning, and it explains why rappers are taking his words so seriously. You won't want to miss the revelations coming up next. They might just change how you see this entire controversy. To truly understand the weight of Boosie's comments, you have to look at his past. Boosie Badazz, born Torrance Hatch Jr., didn't just talk about the streets, he lived them. growing up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Boosie faced poverty, crime, and the kind of hardships that many of the rappers he's calling out are familiar with. His early life shaped his perspective, giving him credibility when he critiques others who claim to have left the streets behind. Boosie's journey into music started at a young age, but it wasn't just a path to fame. It was a path out. He witnessed firsthand how easily people can fall back into street life, even after making money or achieving success. That's why his message about the F the streets movement resonates so strongly. It's not just a theoretical warning, he's speaking from experience. When he says you can't just leave the streets with a slogan or hashtag, fans know he means it. His personal history also includes legal struggles and controversies that have kept him in the public eye. From arrests to prison time, Boosie has faced the consequences of street life directly. Yet, he's used his platform to reinvent himself and build a music career that commands respect. This duality, someone who's lived the streets but also succeeded in the mainstream, gives his words enormous weight. When Boosie calls out rappers who preach one thing but act another, it hits differently than if it came from someone without his background. What's even more fascinating is how his reputation influences the movement itself. The F the Streets movement appeals to younger artists and fans looking for a blueprint to escape street life. But with Boosie questioning the authenticity of some participants, it raises an important question. Is the movement truly helping people, or is it just a trend some rappers are leveraging for clout? Behind the scenes, sources say Boosie's critiques have already sparked conversations within the movement, leading some artists to reevaluate how they present themselves publicly. And here's a suspenseful twist. Insiders hint that Boosie might be preparing a larger project, possibly a song or statement, targeting specific artists he believes are not being honest about their journey. If this comes to light, it could trigger some of the most high-profile rap confrontations we've seen in years. Fans are already speculating and waiting for what could be a major cultural moment in hip-hop. Once Boosie's message went public, the reaction was immediate and explosive. Social media lit up as fans, influencers, and even other artists weighed in. On Twitter, hashtags related to the F the Streets movement began trending, with thousands of users debating whether Boosie was right or if he was just stirring up drama. Some fans praised him for speaking the truth, saying, "Boosie always keeps it 100," while others criticized him for being too blunt, claiming that calling out fellow artists publicly could create unnecessary tension. Instagram was no different. Short clips of Boosie's statements circulated widely, racking up millions of views within hours. Comments ranged from support, "He's not wrong, the streets will always follow some people no matter what," to outrage, "Why throw shade at others instead of focusing on yourself?" TikTok creators quickly jumped on the bandwagon, remixing his words into viral soundbites and reaction videos. These videos alone generated tens of thousands of comments and shares, turning Boosie's message into an unstoppable trend. What makes this even more fascinating is how the movement's younger audience reacted. Many of them are aspiring rappers and fans who idolize the idea of leaving the streets behind while still embracing street culture in their lyrics. Boosie's critique hit them hard because it challenged the authenticity of what they've been learning from social media influencers and viral content. Some fans even began questioning the artists they follow, asking, are they really living what they preach? This level of scrutiny could have long-term effects on reputations, and insider sources suggest that a few artists mentioned, either directly or indirectly, have already started defending themselves behind the scenes. There are rumors of private calls and text messages trying to clarify their stance or even strategize responses before making anything public. Could this be the start of new diss tracks or social media confrontations? Many fans believe it's only a matter of time before the next round of public statements comes out, which could escalate the drama to unprecedented levels. And here's a cliffhanger. Some sources hint that Boosie isn't finished yet. There are whispers he's planning a follow-up project that could include a hard-hitting track aimed at calling out specific individuals tied to the movement. If true, this could ignite one of the biggest controversies in recent hip-hop history, potentially redefining how authenticity and credibility are measured in the rap game. As Boosie's message continues to reverberate through the rap community, the potential fallout is becoming a major talking point. This isn't just about a few social media posts. This could have real consequences for the careers, brands, and public images of the artists involved. For some rappers, being called out, even indirectly, threatens the credibility they've spent years building. In the world of hip-hop, authenticity is everything. Fans expect artists to live the life they rap about, And if there's even a hint of hypocrisy, it can quickly lead to backlash. The first potential impact is on public perception. Social media users are already dissecting every lyric, interview, and post from artists connected to the F the Streets movement. If Boosie's claims gain traction, fans could start questioning whether these rappers are truly representing their experiences or just using the movement as a marketing tool. This type of scrutiny can damage fan trust, which is hard to rebuild once lost. Next, there's the possibility of strained relationships within the industry. Collaborations are a cornerstone of hip-hop, but if Boosie's comments create division, some artists might hesitate to work with certain peers. Rumors already suggest that a few rappers are reconsidering upcoming features or joint projects, worried that aligning themselves publicly could associate them with controversy. The ripple effect could extend to record labels, promoters, and even media outlets, all weighing the risks of being involved with artists under scrutiny. Then comes the legal and financial implications. While Boosie hasn't made explicit accusations of illegal activity, the mere suggestion that someone isn't living up to their claimed lifestyle can influence brand deals, sponsorships, and partnerships. Companies don't want to be connected to controversy, especially when fans are vocal online. If the tension escalates, we could see brands reconsidering endorsements or events, which could have a direct impact on the artist's income streams. Perhaps the most suspenseful element is the looming possibility of a public showdown. In hip-hop, conflicts often play out through diss tracks, interviews, and social media feuds. Insider sources suggest that Boosie may be preparing a follow-up message, potentially a song or video, where he calls out specific individuals with no filter. This could trigger a chain reaction, with each artist responding in kind, escalating the drama and captivating fans worldwide. Imagine the headlines. Boosie targets top rappers in explosive new track, followed by responses from some of the biggest names in the game. The stakes are enormous, and the ripple effects could last months, if not years.